And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Async API International Women's Day celebration. I hope I'm audible enough. I hope I'm audible. Can y'all hear me? Anybody in the chat, YouTube? Okay. I think I'm audible enough. All right, then. Okay, cool. All right, let's get started. I've been rehearsing for a perfect introduction today. I think for the past 2 hours before the live stream started, I've been rehearsing looking for a perfect way to introduce our panel today. But anyway, if you know me, I go with the flow. So without any further ado, so today we'll be talking about career empowerment and embracing equity in tech. By the way, happy International Women's Day. So, we have a very awesome panel today, and I cannot wait to bring them on stage. They are backstage. I'm sure they are as excited as I am today because I'm very excited to listen, to learn, and also to interact with these ladies. And today is going to be awesome and very informative. So, without any further ado, let me bring on stage Maneo, all the way from Lesotho. Hey, Maneo.
Hey, Tali.
How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm perfect, thank you. And the next guest is our very own Sam Reedy, our TSC member from Async API. Hey,
Hi,
Sam. How are you doing
hi.
today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good, thank you. Our third guest, we have Precious, all the way from Nigeria. Let me bring you on stage.
Hey.
Hey, Precious. How are you
Hello.
doing today?
Hi, how are
I'm
you?
great, thank you. And my
Hi.
very good friend, Victoria, all the way from Singapore. Hey, Victoria.
Hello. Hi everyone. Hi, Tuli.
How are you
It's,
doing?
it's great to be here. Yeah, I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming today. Anyway, a little backstory. So Victoria is the first person to teach me everything about APIs and about Postman. I remember, I'm not sure, was it 2021 or
Yeah.
2020? Yeah, we built a self-care dev bot, and Victoria tutored me everything that I needed to know about APIs. And literally, when we were building the bot, I literally knew nothing. So don't shoot me. But anyway, guess what? Today I'm working at Async API. So yeah, it must be destiny.
Yay. Can't believe it's
All
already
right.
2 years. Yeah.
Yes, even me. I can't believe it's already 2 years. Eh?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a story for another day. So ladies, would you like to introduce yourselves? What do you do? Who you are, so the audience can get to know you better. We can start with you, Victorious.
Oh, okay. Because I came into the stage last. I didn't expect me.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Victoria. I'm a solutions engineer at PayPal. And I work on a tech blog part as my side hustle. So my blog is at low-victoria.com. And yeah, and I'm Tuli's friend. That's part of my introduction. Yeah, so really happy to be here. So thanks so much, Tuli, for inviting me. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to talk to everyone here today.
Thank you so much for honoring the invite, by the way. I know you're very busy. If somebody as busy as Victoria can make it here, I really appreciate for taking your time to come here. Next person who came in second to the last. Okay, Sam. Is it Sam or Precious?
I
Okay,
think
so
Sam.
between Sam. Okay, Sam, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Samriddhi. I am application developer at ThoughtWorks and also an open source enthusiast. Apart from this, I am also member of Green Software Foundation and TSC member at Async API. And thanks to Lee for having me here. And I would like to happy International Women's Day to all the beautiful women's out there.
Thank you so much. Hey, you guys, I forgot. Happy International Women's Day. All right. Precious, you're next.
Hi everyone. My name is Precious. I am a technical writer. I contribute to open source at Chaos and like a bunch of other open source communities because generally I like them. And I'm very conscious about diversity and how we can like increase try to reduce the diversity gap. So most of the time, I try my best to involve in initiatives. This means so I contribute and I help facilitate at the other project. It's a local project here in Nigeria, and we help empower women to acquire tech skills in different tracks. Yeah. Also, I love books. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Precious. Thank you so much for honoring us. Maneo, I met Maneo last year. It's what was the event called again?
It was
Uh Deaf Fest. Yes, we
yes.
met at Deaf Fest. I'm still waiting for my pictures. Till today, I'm still waiting for my pictures. Anyway, I will not hold you to it because you took your time to come here. So if you don't mind, you can introduce yourself as well.
Okay. My name is Parisa. I'm from Lesotho. I run a program called Girls Coding Academy here in Lesotho. And I work at Revenue Services Lesotho as application developer, now into business analyst. And I'm a mentor into women, Google Women Tech Makers in the Southern African countries. And I'm also an ambassador of Google Women Tech Makers and Google lead organizer here in Lesotho. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As you can see, today we have a powerhouse. I mean, these ladies are excelling everywhere in everything that they're doing. So, without further ado, let's get right to it. Help of ChatGPT, I came up with a few questions. Like I said, I would try as much possible to follow the script that I wrote, the program that I wrote. So, without wasting time, let's get right to it. So, with the first thing on our agenda, right, is to discuss your personal experiences in tech. We talk about the challenges. We all been through a lot of challenges, especially breaking into tech, right? As women. So I would love to hear from you. What are the challenges you faced while you were breaking into tech? How did you overcome these challenges and your experiences in general? Maneo, would you like to go first?
Okay. uh, I think I talked about Girls Coding Academy. I started the program while I was at the University of Lesotho. Um, I started the program because maybe the self-esteem that I had, there were more guys in class, and I was failing the program because I didn't know even how to touch a computer. What was a computer? I saw it at the university level. So I advocate and go around Lesotho where I talk to girls so that they don't feel the way I felt. But based on the environment that we had, I saw that there's nobody, we do not have such programs. And that is when I started to have the center that I have at the moment, where I'm advocating for girls to be part of the programs. I believe those are the challenges that I have. There are many, but I would let the other ladies to talk.
Sam, you can go next.
Yeah, so for me, like I never thought I would be like I would become a software engineer. I actually wanted to pursue my career in the physics, but like I eventually and end up here in the software engineering, and now I'm really liking it, and the hurdles and the journey from physics to the computer science was really like a learning and very curve shaping for me, because there are a lot of hurdles or a lot of obstacles that I faced during this journey. But altogether, it was a great learning for me, and now I'm really enjoying my work and whatsoever I do in the tech field, and whatever I can do to make it more valuable and bring up the good software for our society?
That's awesome. Precious?
Um, I think I think the core issue for me was finding out that these things could be done. I didn't start like initially. It was not something that was so popular, and like it did not seem like it had a future, sort of. But I kind of liked it, so I kept on having to insist and like maybe to my parents or to people around that this is something that I want to do, and um, after a lot of back and forth, I was allowed to go to school to study computer science, and like but and like even during the period, you've had like spaces where you don't know a lot of people who are learning the same thing as you, or maybe if you people are not taking it as seriously as you are, so you kind of have to find people who believe in the same things that you do, or kind of like see things the same way that you do. So for the most part, the issue for me at the beginning was finding a good support system, or finding people who thought that these things could be done. But like subsequently, when you actually find your own people and like your circle, regardless of what happens outside, you know that there are people who have actually done these things before you, and they've excelled at it, so you know that, oh, this thing is possible and I can do it. So it kind of like encourages you, and that's good.
Victoria?
Wow, so everyone's stories are really inspiring. I personally don't have such a great story, but as Tuli, you probably know this, but I'm a self-taught developer. So I don't actually graduate with a formal computer science degree. And actually, now that I look back, one of the reasons why is because I think the people around me just saying, "Oh, like girls can't code," or like, "No, there's no point choosing programming," even though I liked it since high school. But I just never thought that it could be a career for me, just because I don't think anyone around me actually believes that I am meant for this path. And probably because of my gender and for many reasons as well. But that's why I never thought that I could choose this path. And when I realized that was the one for me, I had to kind of self-taught myself. And that was the journey that I would say was the hardest for me, because there wasn't a set syllabus. I don't really know what to study, exactly where to start with, even. I don't have a mentor or teacher. So, yeah, that part, just navigating that, was quite a challenge. And I wish at that time I had joined, like, Girls in Tech or like Women Who Code. I wish I had found that support community. And that's why I guess now I'm more embracing that, and I'm trying to kind of spread that awareness and diversity now that I'm here. So yeah, that's like a short snippet of my story.
I'm sure most of you know my story as well, but I'll just touch on it. Like breaking into tech, I'm also self-taught as well. I don't have a formal education. So like when I was looking for a job, I was told you're a mom, you don't have time to commit to work because you are busy with other things, family stuff. You don't really have time. So they'll rather opt to hire someone else without before me because they think that my commitments are divided. So those are some of the challenges that I ought to overcome and to become the person that I am today. And especially when it comes to career empowerment, forward ladies, I'm here to hold people's ladies' hands and say you can do it because I've done it. It's not easy. It wasn't easy for me. We still have a long way to go, but this is the reason why we are having such talks today to discuss these challenges, to see a way forward. How do we move forward from this? How do we break down? How do we make sure? How do we lower the barrier for women in tech to venture into this career? Despite being a mother, despite being a girl, despite being a minority. So this leads us to the second thing on our agenda: embrace why is equity important. When we talk about equity, we touch a lot of topics. We touch about equal pay. We touch about equal opportunities for everyone. So I would like to hear from you. Why is equity and empowerment so important? Victoria?
Okay, yeah, I guess I can go first this time. So I think from my experience, equity itself is important just because we want everyone to have equal opportunities, equal ways to shine, equal ways to show their skills. I think a lot of times the reason why girls in general are afraid to pursue careers in STEM is because there's always that stigma that, oh, girls are just not that good in STEM kind of subjects compared to men. So there's always that kind of stigma. And we're not saying that, oh, we need to like be the majority or anything. Like equity is just about giving everyone the equal opportunity. That's what I believe in. So we're just trying to basically spread that message to girls that you can be whatever you want to be. Yeah, so that's why I think it's very important that we start spreading that message since like to young girls as well.
Maneo, why is equity and empowerment so important for us women in tech?
Just today, I just talked with my coworker here, where she talked about that if you want somebody who can talk, a man can do that. But if you want somebody who can implement and do something, a woman can do that. So I believe women are capable of doing things, just that we shy away of some things, and we want to. We need a platform like these ones where you can express your stories and maybe explore into this. I think everyone have a chance, especially women are given so much opportunities, and we need to grab such. So we need, yeah.
Sam?
Yeah, so like in India, we there is a line we always use for women's Nari hi Shakti hai. So this means like we are promoting the women's, like this from the scenario back in from our histories in the past years, and now we are promoting women in the tech and in every field, even it's not particularly tech. So that's how we are showing, like now we are changing our mindset and thought processes, like no, like there is nothing a difference, it's us who are creating difference. So by bringing up the equity, like and providing the opportunity to both men and women without being biased on their genders, it will provide them everybody a platform to showcase their talent, and also let them prove themselves, that nobody is like here to judge them, like just to prove yourself who you are.
Precious, your thoughts?
I think equity is important because it kind of lets everybody know that there is a seat at the table. You get like I have space here too. Like my gender is not the reason why I can't code or I can be a really good designer or I can be a good cloud architect, something like that. So it basically gives space to everybody and it lets us know that regardless of my inclination, let's say um I prefer aesthetics or I don't want to code, but I want to do something in no code, but it's still tech anyway. So tech is more than like code. So I think equity also includes the fact that not everybody has to code. It gives space to different kinds of career paths, and at the same time, it lets people know that regardless of what it is that you want to do or what you look like or what it is that or your gender or your demographic or your location, you can actually pursue a career in tech and build something out of it for yourself.
That's true. That's true. So now we are getting deeper into the conversation. So I would like to hear your thoughts on the current state of equity and empowerment in tech. What are your real thoughts? Like currently, what do you think is the major issue here? We're starting to get on the real stuff. So what are your thoughts in this current state of equity and empowerment in tech? Let me see who goes first. Maneo.
Um, I think based on the current location where I am at the moment, um, we as women are consumers of technology, and we are not inventors or creators, or sometimes have created systems. Technology is not yet appreciated and like other countries, so I still believe that we still have to have a stake into the technology environment. The women still needs to be empowered some sort, because some still do not appreciate the technology they use smartphones, they use every kind of a tech project here in the country, but they are not inventors. That's why we don't even have a tech hub or innovation hub in the country. So I still believe we are still here, and we want to advocate for such to have a stake into the tech environment. We meant to have that. So thank you.
Sam?
I totally agree with Mayu that we still need a lot of improvement in this particular area. We still lag behind a lot, because they're like, even though we talk about the empowerment and equity, but it's still like, if we see in our surroundings, so we all have been faced this thing in our teens and at our places at any point of time in our lifetime. So still there is a lot of scope in the improvement in this, and I think it's only us who can bring it on, because nobody would come and fight for our rights and um, our things. So it's only us who will come out and voice out the things and fight for ourselves.
Victoria?
Yes, I agree with both of their points. I think they're really good. I also want to add on that even in my day-to-day job, like in the company, I see that there are fewer women engineers, like significantly less. Even though my company is like actively trying to have that policy to empower women and like hire more women engineers, but it's just inevitable that you see that there are less female engineers around. And I think it's already because there's that stigma, there's that subtle lack of support, lack of like really that it's, I wouldn't say it's like they are like explicitly discriminating us, it's not like that, but it's more like it's just there's that lack of support basically that empowers us, that wants us, that elevates us to the next level. And that's what I observe, and I see that a lot of times like we women, it's just that it's not like we can't be great engineers or anything. It's just that maybe people always think that we might have other priorities. Like for you, Tuli, for example, they're a working mom, like that. And so because of those small kind of conditions that might make people perceive us, that that's something that could hold us back from our potential. Yeah. So that's something that I think we need to address, and not only in terms of company policies, but also in terms of just cultural and just the societal kind of norms and altogether.
Precious?
They like button. I want to like what she just said twice. Anyway, but I agree with Sam's point of we have to be the ones driving this whole thing. There's been significant improvement because if you want to check through the years, there we've definitely seen more women like lead and hold significant places. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that there is still no place for improvement, right? We still obviously we work in tech now. A few years ago, it would probably have been a little harder to have like all of us here and to be able to talk about these things. So that but there's still a lot of work to be done, and I think like Sam said, we are the ones that are going to help out with this thing. So in our little ways, it could be mentoring people, it could be recommending somebody for a role, it could be putting a good word for somebody, it could be encouraging somebody, it could just like in the little way that you know how to open the door for another person, you just try because we have to have each other's backs to be able to help close the gap as fast as possible.
I also agree. Like, we need to help each other, provide more mentorship programs, provide assistance here and there, equal opportunities. If my other counterpart can get it, why can't I get it? So, like, for if this leads me to the next question as well. Is there progress being made so far, or are we still in a long? We still have a long way to go. What do you think, Sam?
I think we still have a long way to go in this field, because of like, there are a lot of lackness and things. So like, maybe we can just come up with some different approaches and solution to fill that gap actually. And maybe then only we can just work on this particular thing and fill in the gap. And by approaches mean like we can bring up different programs like a mentorship program, awareness programs in the society, like so that we can tell people like it's not a men or women, it's like about we all are together and we all deserve to be part of it, and there is no biasness on the basis of this gender thing.
That's true. Victoria, your thoughts?
Yes, I agree with Sam as well on this. I think that we're still a long way to go. There has been small progress, I would say, over the last few decades, but it's still minimal and it does not produce enough results yet. We haven't seen a significant change, to be very honest. So that's why what Sam suggests, mentorship is always a good thing. Another thing that I would like to add on is maybe celebrating more women accomplishments. So maybe highlighting achievements, like just supporting each other. Also, actually, today at my company, we even celebrate International Women's Day. So those are like the little things that our workplaces could do, our organizations could do for us is just celebrating those achievements and just recognizing that this is a social issue and like we're trying to basically help each other out.
Manuel?
I agree with Victoria and the other ladies. I still believe you still have a long way to go to see to it that other ladies appreciate this environment of technology, because we are still in a stigma that maths and science are very difficult, but this time around we have all the resources even on internet everywhere just to support us. Even we have women like events like these ones where women can express their difficulties, their issues without being judged, but still there are still few women into this tech environment. So I still we still need to have to do more advocating, to do more events, to be appreciated, to be given appreciation as women, to be given mentorship as women, and also go to the crowns roots where you mentor as little as a kid of 5 years or younger than that, so that they know that this you can be anything in the around the world. Yes, thank you.
Precious?
Well, like I said, there's been a little progress, but obviously there's a lot of work to be done. And as most of us have already said, part of the ways that we can do like more work is by mentorship. It could be like Victoria said, by celebrating more women. It could also be by raising awareness and letting, like, the reason why we have this issue right now is because maybe there's the whole stigma of girls probably should not be in code or should not code or should not be in tech, that sort of thing, right? But if the generation coming after us don't have the same mindset, like if we let them know that these things are possible regardless of gender, then it kind of like helps reduce the amount of people that you would have to change their mindset to let them know that anything is possible. So I think part of the ways we can um, help close the gap faster is to reduce the amount of people that would have to let them know that there is actually a gap. So we could do this by starting from the like doing more awareness for even the younger ones. So from a young age, you know that I can actually do this thing if I want to do it.
Okay, so before I end my thoughts, we have a late comer today. I don't know, should we find her? I think we should find her. Anyway, without further ado, Shruti has finally joined us, so I'm bringing her on stage. Hey, Shruti, how are you doing? I think you're on mute. No, I can't hear you. We can hear you. Okay, I think you can rejoin. All right, so while we continue with the talk, I also think that we still have a long way to go. But at the very same time, we do have initiatives that I put in place, right? Like, for example, at Async API, we have a mentorship program, and we see very little women, very few women coming to the project to apply or to try out the projects. So now, in as much as we have these kind of initiatives, and then there's few women that are applying or are coming through. So now it leads me to the next questions. For us to address this, what are really the obstacles that women are currently facing, and how can we address those obstacles in order for us like to make the progress very significant? So any your thoughts, Victoria?
Yep. Oh, how about we let Shruti come on
Shruti,
the
come.
stage
All
first?
right.
Yeah.
Shruti,
Hi,
mic
can you all
one,
hear me?
two. Yes, now we can hear you.
Finally.
All right. Hey everyone. This is Shruti. Shruti, do you mind giving us a short introduction of yourself? And
Yes.
then you can also share your challenges in tech and how you've overcome. Then you can join us as we continue the conversation.
Yes. I'm so sorry, got a little late. I'm Shruti, and I'm currently a design engineer in Advanced Micro Devices, which is a semiconductor firm. So we manufacture chips for laptops and uh, many other electronic devices. And I'm based out of Singapore. And I came here to do my master's in electronics. I did my bachelor's in India, and I've been here for close to 5 years now. So it's been a good journey so far, and that's me in a nutshell. And if I have to talk about challenges, I think like coming here from India itself was a big challenge for me. Like being from a very conservative background, it's not easy for women to venture out of their country and come to another country where they don't know anyone. And surely, when I came here, it was a big culture shock for me. So to adapt to that and then also carry on with the studies and then graduate and get a job. I think many of us can relate with such a journey. I think we all have kind of would have ventured out at some point from our comfort zone. So I'm sure like we all can relate to the challenges that come with that and how we overcome that and try to make a path for ourselves. So yeah.
I'm sure it's been quite a journey. So I would like to hear from you. Why do you think equity and career empowerment is important? And if you don't mind sharing your thoughts on the current state of equity and empowerment in tech as well.
Right. Um, why do we think it's important? Because I think it's not, first of all, spoken enough, except like around probably Women's Day or something. We hear it a lot and we speak about it a lot, and then after a few days, I don't know, it just goes into the oblivion, and then we come back to it again every year with the hope of renewing it with new motivation. But the key is to like be consistent with our efforts in making equity a reality to all the people. And also career empowerment is the same thing. So that's why I think it's important to like the more we talk about it, I think the more it creates the impact. So that's why it's important to talk about it. And if we talk about the current status, I can speak about semiconductor industry. So the representation is very very less, like especially women in leadership or people sitting in the board, it's less than 10%. Um, and if you look at startups, it's even less, like almost zero. But if you see in larger corporations, there are the number is increasing. That's what I'm seeing the current trend to be. When I was studying here, we had like probably one third of the class uh, was women, and I do see that my juniors, there are more women out there, and they are all venturing into tech space. So it is growing, but the rate is very slow. And there are many other factors also which influence it. Like we're all young, and there are some, sometimes hiring managers may have some preconceived bias towards hiring women, and that might also lead to less representation. Uh, but overall, I do see growth, but it's very slow. And there's a lot of mentoring and training opportunities, professional development opportunities happening. Recently, I went and attended a hackathon, which was for girls who are aged 10 to 18 years old, and they have tremendous talent. They were able to come up with an app or a website within a matter of 2 days. That really shows, it really gives me hope that, future generation, it's bright for women out there to get into the tech space. Um, because I didn't see myself doing so much of coding or developing an app when I was around 10 to 18. So there's definitely a lot of exposure these days. And I think, if girls are going to leverage it the right way, they'll definitely make it into the tech space. Yeah.
That's true. So, which leads me to the next question. Like, we have all these programs, we have initiatives, we have mentorship programs that are dedicated to bring women in. But then I do, or I believe that you all can agree with me that there's some gatekeeping at some point, right? And this leads us to the growth being slow, to the progress being slow. So, like, what are the biggest challenges that women are facing, and what are the solutions that we can come up to address these obstacles? Over to you, Manuel.
Um, I think at the moment the resources are there, but it's us as women to tap into those opportunities that are already given to us, because I think the society has made it easy for us, where we advocate for women to be protected, women to be given opportunities, and there are resources. Like they say that we will talk about this, how we support women today, because it's International Women's Day. Next year, we're going to talk about the same thing, but yet the women, we have talked about the opportunities that they can tap into, but they do not tap into those opportunities. I still believe we as women, we need to have self-confidence that we need to be part of this industry. It's still made for us as women, and we can make it either by pushing ourselves, because here, like now the speakers, some have done without even going the career school. They implement, they know how to code by teaching themselves using the same resources. So if somebody can do that, they can go to school and graduate. So I believe we have a choice and we have opportunities. I believe that we have to step up and do what we have to do, just to see that we can be part of, we can break this gender gap. And the other thing, I still believe we still have to advocate for women where they do not have this kind of resources, because there are communities where they do not have access to internet, they do not have access to computers, they do not have access to schooling or any kind of resources. So those kind of communities, we are, and part of the people who are listening, we are responsible to see to it that they tap into and get this kind of opportunities, and see that women are empowered into tech. Thank you.
Precious, your thoughts?
I agree a lot with what Maneo said. I think that as much as there is like the whole growth and it's been slow, and then there's the whole gatekeeping thing, we kind of like have to fully embrace the opportunities that are out there. And aside from embracing the opportunities that have been given to you, you kind of like it's going to be a little tough, but I think there's also the initiatives, there's also the space to create the opportunities for yourself. get. So the reason why startups exist is because somebody identified the problem and decided, I think we could fix something like this. It's not easy. It's not going to be rosy, but at least if you find yourself in a situation where if like this is something that I want to do, this is probably a career path that I want to follow, then I think you should be willing to fight enough to get it. And as much as that part is there, there's also the fact that sometimes some of these things may not be in your control. Then that's where support systems come in, right? And like having older mentors, like people that have been in the system before you. So when you get into these spaces where you're probably gatekept or you are facing some kind of obstacle that's beyond your power, then you could always ask for help from somebody that's more advanced. Maybe they'll probably be able to tell you how they faced something similar and they were able to navigate it, that sort of thing. So basically, it's creating it's one, learning how to create opportunities for yourself. It's also learning how to push against certain biases or obstacles that might be in the way, and then it's also having like a good community around that you could always go to for support. And
Shruti?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Precious had said. We do face a lot of obstacles, and I feel inherently, I think, at least from what I have noticed, many of us have a tendency to, try to solve the problem ourselves, and we take as much time as possible and try to be independent and not ask someone for help. But probably sometimes that expedites our, work or the process that we are doing, and the more we reach out, the more we realize that there's more support for us, and we can get through it, whatever we are doing, whatever output we want to get. It's more easier to reach that goal, and it is important to have a mentor that way, who can help you and guide you through your career's ups and downs, because once out of college and into the workforce, it's like being left alone in a forest trying to find your way out. So you definitely need a someone who's more experienced, seasoned mentor, who can help you through that. And and like I said previously, there must be. I'm seeing this in a lot of organizations. Even in my organization currently, there is this unconscious bias training that is given to all the managers, which would help them to hire without any bias in their minds. So whenever they screen candidates, they are screening with a very logical mind and do not have any preconceived notions. So there is equal opportunity created for both men and women. And finally, I would say a mindset change has to happen, no matter what is said and done. It must come from the mindset of a person that they want to provide equal opportunities to everyone. If whatever unconscious bias training or whatever else is done, but if their mindset is stuck with trying to just promote uh, one thing or the other, and it's not unbiased, then it doesn't change. Because I have seen that many a times, when the upper management of a company changes, the entire company culture has a great impact, because whatever they do, it keeps seeping down to lower levels, and it impacts us in our daily workforce and the work culture. So I really believe that if the upper management has a very good inclusive culture, then it would really promote better equity and empowerment for everyone.
Victoria?
Well, I think being always like one of the last person is difficult because everyone's already speaking
No.
all the amazing
No.
points. Yeah.
Sam is specific.
But yeah, I definitely agree with all of them have to say. Like, I was like formulating the sentences in my mind, and they will like hit all those points. So yeah, but I definitely echo with what Shruti, Precious, and Maneo have to say. And it's like we always talk about like external obstacles, right? Like the gatekeeping, the policies, like there are external obstacles, but I feel like as women we also have to overcome our internal obstacles, which is our level of confidence. We need to be able to speak out, like in the meeting room with full of men. We just need to be confident of ourselves and like speak what we want to, give constructive feedback to our co-workers, whether they're men and women. So just that coming from within, I think that is an internal obstacle that we can also teach girls and women around the world to overcome. And when I think about like how do we overcome this internal obstacle, I think what we women do best is, I personally think, is we can hype each other well. We can like, yay, go girl, like, like that's something that I think I'm proud of as a woman, is like we can just support each other. Like women supporting women is really very easy, like for me at least. I'm That's why I'm very proud to join Women Who Code, and I'm very proud to like just be part of an organization that empowers women. So that's why in terms of like building the inner confidence, it's something that I personally struggled with in my tech journey. And I think that if I had found like this group of ladies and like this support system like early in my journey, maybe that could have helped me better, that could have helped me achieve what I had today a bit faster. So yeah, with all that in mind, I just want to say that in terms of overcoming those obstacles, it's really from within as well. Like sure, definitely external wise, there's a lot and a lot to improve on, but you can start within yourself. If it's hard to change the environment, then you yourself have to change. And so that's kind of how I did, even like with my parents not really supporting in terms of my programming because they don't think girls should code. I still just do it. So yeah. So that's what I think basically.
Sam?
Like almost everybody covers every point. So, like from my personal experience, I would say self confidence is very important because I lack of it. Like initial, like I remember I used to lack of the self confidence. Even still, I like at some point, I just feel very. Less confident enough to put up my points and say out loud things, even though I know I'm right and I can make it better, but still I just lack of it because of that, because I don't have that confidence. So maybe we can bring in that confidence in ourselves to just say our points, because when we are confident enough, then only we can push other women's out there to come up and just share your thoughts and feel free to share your opinion on anything. No matter we bring up numerous of policies and run programs, provide mentorship, but the only thing is that we all have to promote, like if some if there is a lady or there is a woman who is doing so well, so that particular lady she has to becomes an role model for other ones and promote other women's, so that they all can just come out from their shelter and just do whatever they want to do, without any fear in their mind of being judged or anything. They just comes up and put up their thoughts and opinion and just say whatever they feel. So along with ourselves, we have to hold the back of other ladies and cheer them and just promote, help them to achieve their goals as well. Then only maybe we can just over just fill up those gaps that we are facing right now. Then only it would be easier for everybody to come out.
That's true. That's true. I totally agree as well. So now let's talk about strategies because, like you said, actually, it's quite common that we come here every 8th of March, whatever year. We talk about these challenges, we talk about the current state. Then tomorrow is over. Then we have to wait again next year. And we start again, the same trend every day, every year. So now I know there are so many people out there who are willing, like, okay, we would like to support more women in tech, right? How do we go about it? Because I will really love that next year when we do International Women's Day, I bring you guys back and say, hey, how did things go? Do we have strategies in place that can improve equity and empowerment? that have worked for you. Maybe if you can share some examples that have worked for you that people can adopt in different communities in order to support this initiative, and in order maybe we can start, like it all begins by starting, right? So that next year when we come back again, and say, hey, this worked, this doesn't work, let's improve on this. Than for us to come here and sit and start talking about challenges, obstacles, but actually we start talking about, okay, these strategies work. We have improved, we have reached out to these ladies, we have recruited a certain percentage of the ladies in our communities. So like, let's talk about strategies. If something worked for you, you can share with communities out there. And I know there's a lot of people who are willing like to mentor women, but they don't know how to go about it. So if you like to share, Shruti.
Yeah. If we talk about strategies, um, actually, I do know that there are in some companies, they even have a hiring policy where they are like, we want a certain percentage of women representation, like in every team or every department or something. So when they even like start hiring, look out for people. They actively look out for women, which is a very welcoming change, and this would open up a lot of opportunities for all the women out there, where you don't have to compete with other men, but probably other women. But it once we all become competent, then surely we are all going to land up in very good jobs, and that would naturally increase the number of the percentage of women representation in the workforce. So that is one strategy which I'm seeing many companies are adopting. And another thing, like this is again like very internal thing that a few others spoke about, like we have to advocate our value to our manager or whoever is in our team. And that's when they would start giving more importance to what we say and what is the value we provide to them. And naturally that would push us further up the technical ladder, because otherwise we'll always end up being the underdog. So we should be more vocal. And I do see that like we usually have a tendency to hold back anything that we might want to say in a meeting, but we are not sure of the what it is. But I would say, like, just let yourself free. You might probably say the wrong thing, but you have the confidence to say it. And then if someone pointed out to you that it's wrong, then you learn it from there, instead of you look like fool for 1 second, but you have learned a lot from that, and you will not make that mistake once again. And when you talk to your manager or in the meetings, you put forth your points without feeling that you don't want to take up too much of their time or space or something. Like, even if you feel like you're dominating the meeting, just do it. Because ultimately, if they feel that one day, if they feel that, oh, this person is able to hold the meeting very well, is able to manage stuff, then definitely they're going to promote you into the next level. So the strategies would be, one of them is from the HR side, where they are increasing, actively hiring more women. And another is from our side, where we try to take up more space in our workspace, and make our importance be seen and felt by everyone, so that they naturally feel that this person is deserving and we must promote them. Yeah.
That's true. I totally agree. Maneo, your thoughts?
I am now into, there's a program called Women Tech Makers. It's a platform where different types of women, either the newbies who are still studying to the program of technology, or someone who are already advanced, or people who host programs like this one, or host events like the one that we are here. So I still believe the ladies can join such societies, or women who code, or in their society they can start a small programs. If they are already know the tech, they're in part of tech, they can have programs where they can just start to have fun with other young ladies, where they can motivate other ladies. And the other strategy that worked for me, I wasn't afraid of failure. I thought failure is part of life. where I learn a lot, and where I got to see things that do not work and things that do work. Like I said, in the country we did not have such a programs where we have where we can have women who we can talk your crisis the way that I had at the university. But I started such programs, and now we do have more programs. I'm even a mentor for 7 countries after starting such programs in the country. So I still believe it's us as women to start. If you can just start with what you have, that is all. Because I started with my computer, one computer, but now I got support from big companies, and after seeing what I've already started. So I'm saying women should start, even if in the in working environment where they are working, they should show an effort that they do know, because we still need to work 2 times than me, because most of us we do not appreciate technology. So just work hard so that other ladies can just see and be mentored or appreciate you as an employee, so that they want to be somebody like you someday. So I still believe some girls are still watching in silo, so we need to work hard on environment or opportunities that we have. Thank you.
Victoria?
Okay, yes, I was gonna raise my hand because I really want to speak after Maneo's. That was really inspiring. That sounded like a presidential speech. So, um, basically, I agree with
Maneo for president.
yeah, she speaks so confidently and like so inspiringly. Yeah, so basically, following what Manuel said about like we need to work harder, we need to be more visible. I think not only that, we need to also show that we are here for them. We are here for the women who are needing that, like who wants that support system, who wants to feel like empowered and feel like they're not alone in this journey. So I remember when I first started blogging. At the time, I made a lot of new friends. I joined Twitter, tech Twitter communities. But I noticed this. I didn't notice it before because I don't really like see men and women as any different. But I do notice after joining Women Who Code that when I'm trying to invite women speakers, I realized that, oh, yeah, there's not a lot of women on Twitter. Like it's not a lot as I like as my friends, because I speak to all my friends daily who are men in tech, and they're really great men as well. But when I was thinking of like, oh, a list like women speakers to invite, I'm like, oh, there's not as much as I thought. So that's when I realized that we as women, we just need to be more visible out there. So start a blog, start Twitter, like just show that you exist so that you can be role models for those other women. Yeah, I think that's a good place to start. And I'm actually really proud that I can somehow represent a little bit, because I'm like, as a blogger, I'm like quite, um, at least in my community, like I know that I'm one of the only female bloggers that are active right now. So I know that at least that part of the space I'm like representing for tech blogging. So I'm sure there's a lot of you guys are all just amazing women who can represent in all your expertise in different places. I think it would be great if we could show that, and we could show that everyone, hey, there's this expert of women for this area. So, oh, someone put my LinkedIn on the comment. No need to stalk me on LinkedIn, but yeah, basically, I'm just saying that we need more role models so that we can see that, oh, there's a leader here and there's a leader in the space, so then we can kind of like follow their footsteps or at least be inspired from there. So yeah, so I was inspired by Manu as well from that speech, so that's why I want to follow up after her. So yeah.
Yes, true. I'm also inspired. Sam?
So in my company, we have a program called WAPSI. So basically, under this program, what we do, like if like the women who somehow they they just lost their jobs, and they have to drop from their jobs due to some reasons, and they want to join back, and they join back to their career in the tech even after 5 year 8 years also. Then we run that program, and under this program we rehire them based upon the boot camps. And then so this program really it's a very helpful. So maybe we can bring up these kind of programs, these kind of more programs in the different companies and the different streams, so that more women comes out and they join back, even if after they they have just they have to drop because of some reasons. So this could be the one initiative. Apart from this, like blogging on the writing their personal journey experience, sharing their experiences, like maybe on like we can start a stream channels, YouTube streams, where they can just we can invite the speakers, we can just like invite them on the YouTube and ask them to share their experiences, and maybe a little podcast on those things. So these are the little that these might be little initiatives, but if we look at them from the broader perspective, so it would comes up with a lot of improvement in this particular field. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Precious?
Mm, I if we had to contest for president, it means like pretty much everybody here will have to go for president because you guys are amazing. But I anyway, I think that part of the strategies we can do, had like has already been previously mentioned, we could help out with like mentorship, and I like um talking about community lots because sometimes like your support system is almost everything you have, like for the most part. Yes. So if you are, especially if you are still growing and you are facing a bit of issues, it's always easier to be able to ask somebody that is around you, hey, I need help with this and that sort of thing. And like Victoria said, visibility. And I think another thing is, aside from pushing yourself out there, it also means like we should learn how to consciously think about this thing. So maybe we see some like a speaker event, and wasn't there's no woman there. We could always say, who are the organizers of this event? Sometimes it may be unconsciously, maybe because of how it is, but we should always try to mention and like point out where there are biases or where there are like we don't see equity. So more and more like people will be conscious of it. So if there is a speaker event and they are not like enough, it doesn't look diverse enough, or there is not enough representation, attention should be called to it so people can see, and like support for different people at different stages of their career. And like Maneo said, maybe sorry, what are they called? Oh my god, institutions, or like the kind of programs that she runs to help beginners that are coming up in their career. So it could be different ways. It could also be you trying to take personal mentors, personal mentees, and helping people out in their journey. Personally, for me, I think my own strategy is usually asking people that are higher than me for guidance or help, like community and people helping me out. Basically, learning from people that are around me.
All right. Okay, for me, the last one. So the strategies that I believe that will work. So I will talk from a personal point of view is that you need to put yourself out there. Public learning is very important. When opportunities come, be ready to take them. Doesn't matter whether you're qualified or you're not qualified. As long as you have a 40% chance that you may meet the requirements, apply for the job. Apply for the opportunity. Be there to market yourself. And trust me, there are a lot of people who are willing like to mentor, to give opportunities to women. But it also comes to us to be willing to say, okay, I may not have the right skills. I may not have the required skills, or the required maybe, I'm not sure how to put it, the required requirements maybe, but I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to grow, I'm willing to explore. And definitely, if you're ready to put in the work, a lot of things will come easier, especially if you're willing. So definitely, public learning is important. Blogging about your experiences is important. Like most of you, I might have met you through technical writing. Like Victoria, I met her through technical writing. Speak up when there's a room full of men. Speak up your ideas. Be ready to, even though you might think it's nonsense, but I mean, 1 or 2 points that you may say out there are actually valid. So it doesn't matter whether you feel, you mustn't like gatekeep yourself, but actually be there, make mistakes in public, learn in public, then that's how you build experiences. So I do believe like these are some of the strategies we can implement for ourselves, and also to teach other women out there that it doesn't matter if you're suffering from self-confidence, just turn on your Zoom camera on your own, on your laptop, and speak on your own, or on your mirror. I started like, before I started speaking like this, I used to look at my mirror and pretend like my mirror is the audience, my reflection is the audience. That's how you build confidence at the end of the day. So like, if an opportunity comes and say, or maybe Victoria decides, hey, I want to host you, you don't need to be an expert or you have a number of years of experience speaking, public speaking, but just be there. The value comes there, the experience, the exposure, and more opportunities will come from there. And from that, I think that will be it from me. Do we have any questions? It's question time. Okay, let me look through the chat. If you have any questions, please send them through the chat. Okay, I think we have our first question from Ace. So he goes, thinking about your career so far, what would you change to improve equity for women in our sector? Our president Maneo, I think you can go first.
Okay. Like I work at, I have a contract with Revenue Services Lesotho in the country. So I was I was the only developer, one women developer. So thinking I have a business, I'm a mentor to different countries. I have a family that I have to look after. So what I saw that the guys that I was working with, they can work even at 12 or 1 a.m. They can work. So you have to cater for your family when you arrive at home. So what I have seen is that I have to have a strategy on how to manage my time, my resources, everything, so that I can be competitive around the environment that I'm working in at around now. So I can't change my career now because already it's I think there's exposure and job opportunities and so many opportunities that I can have now, because now the economy is shifting to technology. So we encourage more women to be part of the economy that we are in at the moment, to have more money, to have more opportunities into this environment. So I still believe that we need to work hard and work on our time management. My challenge is to work on my time management. Yeah.
Victoria?
Okay, so I'm always after the president. Yeah.
I think you can be our vice president.
Okay, too much pressure. Oh, no. We talk about self-confidence. I should say yes. um, yeah, so thinking about what we could do to improve the equity. I think we did talk about this a little bit from the question so far, but yes, Shruti mentioned about like we have to change mindsets. I think that's also a very good point, because changing the underlying mindset is something that we need to kind of like spread that, so that people can understand like what it's like embracing equity, not just for the sake of like, meeting HR policies or anything like that, but really it's because you want to, it's because from the heart. I have a friend who's like, he said like one of his sister didn't make it to the interview, didn't pass the interview just because they think, oh, the quota for women is already filled. So then they thought, oh, okay, since the policy, there you go, right? So now we don't have to hire any more women. So that's actually not a very good thing. So even policies, sure, they're there, but they can sometimes be black and white. And if people follow them just for the sake of following them, then that's not really solving the underlying issue. So I think just to improve equity, we should also focus on changing the mindset, either by doing events like this, thank you, Tuli, or just promoting women more in tech, and also like elevating those communities like Women in Code, Girl in Tech, like just all those communities, like we can level them up, we can elevate them to gain more visibility through these type of events, and just spreading that awareness, that cause, and finding like-minded people who are going to ride with us for the journey, for the cause. So yeah, that's one thing that I can think of.
Sam?
So like I would say good and a proper mentorship, like providing a mentorship from the seniors and like from the experienced person, because with the experience, like if a person has an experience, so from their experience they can teach the like other people what to do and what to not do. So like a good mentorship is very important. And apart from this, like I would say like encouragement, like encouraging ours like encouraging women surrounding ourselves, like friends, from family, from colleague, everybody to come up and share your thought, and feel free to like if you have anything to share it on. Maybe there are a lot of platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn. Share your thoughts, articles, blogs. There are various platforms. Share it on those platforms. So when you share it on those things or ideas, maybe there are a lot of people and um, think a lot of people who are looking for their talented peoples, but like we don't know our talent at many point of time. But like if let's say I'm good at technical writing, but I don't know when I start writing, if other people read it, then only they, that's we call basically a black spot there, that we don't know, blind spot. So we don't know our blind spot, but other people who just see it, they don't know. So maybe we should start doing things and also encouraging everybody to do it, so that and we provide a constructive feedback, which is very important to grow. Just don't push ourselves to grow, but push everybody in our surrounding, in the community, to grow together. Then only we can bring up a healthy community and a healthy environment.
Precious?
So I think something for me would be letting people know that these things are possible, and like we said previously, visibility for them, because for people who are already in the system, it will help you grow your career and like increase your network and stuff. But more for the people that are still going to come up, because you only know something is possible because you've seen somebody do it before, right? So if you end up seeing senior people, and like if you keep on like helping out with visibility and stuff, then you can help another person that is still starting out in their career to be able to figure out, okay, wait, this thing is possible and I can try it out, and then I can do it, right? So part of the ways that we can help our equity is putting ourselves out there so people that are still coming up can figure out what to do, and also letting people know that tech is not just code, right? That there is like a lot of career paths you can figure out in tech. So even if you maybe you want to get into tech but you find out I don't like code, there's I think people should be able to people should know that there is a whole like there are lots, right? There's technical writing, there's design, there is sorry, there are storytellers in tech. There's actually tech journalism, and like you don't have to code, but you can still have like a career in tech and do a lot of things that are different.
Shruti?
Yeah. I mean, personally, the steps that I take, some of them are like, um, I have created a internal group of women in my office, and there we are open to ask any kind of doubt. Many a times we feel too shy to ask those doubts to our male counterparts, because we don't want to sound like we don't know it or we're not sure. But we create a safe space for women to like share what they know and share what they don't know and learn from others freely, without feeling like underconfident or not too sure of things. So that is something that would definitely empower them, and then give them that freedom to you know ask questions and learn from each other. So we support each other to expand our knowledge and grow together in the company. That's one nice way that we are currently doing internally in my office. And uh, I just thought of another point, and it slipped out of my mind right now. One was like creating such groups and sharing knowledge, and um, I really can't remember the other point right now. I'll just raise my hand once it hits me again. Yeah, I think that's
No
it.
worries. All right. Our second question is, what do you see as the biggest opportunities to improve diversity in open source projects? Sam?
Okay, so I am just kind of so much into open source. I started my computer science journey with the open source, I would say. Like, so I'm very much it's sort of like a love for me, open source. So we there are a lot of ways we can promote. Like when I started open source, so I am the only female from my classroom who is doing the open source. So, and it's like around 2 years back only. So when I started, I just juggle with the things and learning the new things, like how to do git command. I don't know how to use git, anything like version control, anything about it. So by the time I just started learning it, so there in my friends group, we are like 4 to 5 people, me and my one friend. We both started working on the open source project and contributing in. So when I realized it is something very interesting, and it help us to understand the logic and lot of stuffs that we don't get from the theoretical knowledge. So by that time, I just talked to my other friends, my female friends. I encourage them, you people also come, and let's do the jamming, and we should start like contribute. I'll help you with the setup thing, and maybe you can do. So this is the very first initiative I took in the open source. And then I thought of this thing then I realized that in my college, most around 90% of the people don't know about the open source. They don't know about the GitHub thing. So I thought of like maybe like in the colleges and the schools, maybe we can provide like a proper maybe a workshop or a session to the students, so that they get to know about this thing, and they can understand the importance of it. Because once they understand the importance of the GitHub and the version control, maybe they can it will fascinate them. When they start working on it, it will definitely fascinate them. So like I understand, Shruti. But yeah, it's so it will they will come in and join. So I thought this could be the initiative taken by the college. Like if I'm a college student, and work on the open source project, so I would say I'll talk to my teachers and professors, so they can also bring up the program. And since I have contributed to, I would love to just mentor that workshop and help the other folks to other students to work on the project and help them. And in my company, we had this workshop on the open source, where we shared our experience of the Oktoberfest and different open source program. There are a lot of open source program, but yeah, in those program, we don't there is no particular thing about the women in tech thing. But yeah, we can do like when this programs during this program session, we can just hold a little session on these things. We can just address, we can bring up all those women's who are in the tech, and we can maybe call out their names, and we can ask them to share their open source journey and experience. That we did actually in the async API. We had a session like I did with the ace. So this is how like maybe we can encourage women's and everybody to contribute in the open source.
Okay. That's awesome. Because of time, I think I will also just put my 2 cents and move on to the last question. I think some of the biggest opportunities to improve open source diversity is to also let people know that you don't need to only contribute to open source only by code, but there's also technical writing, there's project management, there is design. There are different diverse parts of open source that you can contribute to. So if we can advocate that it's not only codes for someone to venture into open source, but he can come as a product designer or a designer or a technical writer, come and improve documentation or program manager or project manager, or even some to organize events as well, coordinators. You can go into open source and be a coordinator, coordinate like streams like this ones as well. Like for us at Async API, we have an Async API on Talk conference. We need coordinators from different locations to organize the conference. So those are some of the things that we can improve diversity and bring more people into open source projects. We also have our final question. What institutional and societal changes need to be made for women to be empowered? I think we can hand this one to our president to answer. President Maneo, would you
Um,
like to take that one?
okay. I think the changes. I think it's us. It's an individual. Individual where you introspect yourself as an individual and see that indeed you need help, or indeed you didn't know that this certain thing doesn't exist. Like right now, the audience now do know that opportunities like women who talk, women take makeup, and sync is here, PI is here as well, and we do have programs into let's say in Google programs, so we have women take makers as well. So I believe the society has to them introspect themselves and admit when they are wrong and admit that they do not know so that they can get help. But as for those who do not know that they don't know, we are still here to help and mentor such societies, and we believe even the other the other tech members can do that too as well. Thank you.
All right. Does anyone else want to add? Maybe Shruti, our vice president, Victoria. Anyone?
Yeah, like as I mentioned, institutional wise, so the institution has to be cognizant of the fact that they want to provide more opportunities for women. So then they actively seek out to provide more opportunities for women. And women also have to be actually actively looking out and trying to grab every opportunity, like you said. So for societal changes, it's a mindset change, and for institutional changes, it's policies change in companies or everywhere else. And yeah, I remember the point now that I forgot that time. It's very important to maintain a very good network. I'm not sure if we spoke about it right now, but we keep meeting people as we join many such women centric groups, and we come across people from various backgrounds having many different skills. But it's very important to keep in touch with them later, and then find out what they are up to, just just for a sake of goodwill, so that when some other woman comes along someday, and then they have certain set of skills, we know whom to attach them to, like as a someone who can help them out or something. So it's really important to maintain a good network of people with various skills, so that whenever we have any of our fellow women coming and then asking, do you have any such roles with I have such skills, and then we are immediately able to either help them directly or connect them with someone that we know. So then that through referral, then it's at least easier to land a interview, if not the job. So that is another way where we can empower each other. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I am so excited. I've learned so much from you ladies. Words alone cannot express my gratitude for you guys coming here, sharing your knowledge. I mean, we even now have our very own president, our vice presidents. But anyway, thank you so much, ladies. Do you have any closing remarks before Victoria?
Can I say something real quick? I know Tuli,
Mhm.
you're like busy thanking us, but I just want to thank you as well for like initiating this event and like really just I've seen you grow these past 2 years. Like for those who don't know Tuli, she's really an amazing person. Like when I met her 2 years ago, she was so unsure of herself. She doesn't know what's an API. She doesn't know every. But I just want to assure her, like she has skills too. Like she still knows. Like I just know that she can go far. Like she knows, and that's why I'm really proud to see that you are right now here and like being able to talk to us. And you're such a great host. You have such a great personality. So just want a big round of applause for Tuli as well for just this. So yay. Yeah. So yeah,
Thank
but
you so
basically
much.
that's my closing remark. And just want to thank all you ladies as well. It's such a pleasure to meet everyone. I think each and one of you are really special and really amazing speakers. So definitely I will link up with all of you. Like what Shruti mentioned, networking, very, very important. So yeah, hope to keep in touch with all of you. And really thanks for also everyone who joined the talk. I think it was a very insightful session. I learned a lot as well from everyone. So I hope the chat also learned a lot from us. So yeah, thank you so much. That's my closing remark. Yeah.
Our president, we cannot close without our president saying something.
Okay. I still owe you the pictures and I'll pay. So thank you for this opportunity. And thank you, ladies. I think I too have learned a lot because I got to learn from Shiriti that she created that group where they can talk as ladies into their work. So I do not have that group. So I'll try to have such a group where we can have only ladies where we can talk without fear of me. And also, I've learned a lot from Victoria and Samat. Everyone here, I've learned a lot. And thank you because it was only because of you, Tuli. So thank you, Tuli. And the
Thank you
community as well.
so Thank you so much for honoring. Anybody else closing remarks? The floor is open. Okay. Anyway, you can follow everybody here. I linked their socials. I think everybody is on LinkedIn, so you can follow everyone on LinkedIn, see their work. Follow Victoria. She's a consistent technical writer. Every week she's publishing a blog, so you can learn a few tips and tricks from Victoria. If you want to talk about open source, Precious Sam is here. If you want to talk about women leadership, Shriti and Maneo are here. I think, as everybody can agree, these ladies are the best. And without further ado, I will move everyone to the backstage. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. All right. Thank you for everyone who's joined us. And if you want to follow us, we are available at Sync API. You can join us on our Slack channel. And if you want to contribute to open source projects, we have a GSOC. We are participating in GSOC under Postman. And hopefully by the end of this March, we'll have the results for Google Season of Docs for those who would like to contribute as technical writers. We also have a mentoring program for people who like to mentor under code. Details will be available soon. So if you would like to inquire more, you can send me a DM on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or you can join Slack, Async API Slack, and I will give you more information. And if you are looking to participate in one of our conferences this year, we have Async API on tour, a set of micro conferences all around the world. So I hope I will try as much as possible to persuade these ladies to be there in person in one of our locations. I'm sure there's a lot they can share. There's a lot they would like to talk about, and I'm sure everybody will be willing to listen. So I hope they will accept. They will submit their CPFs in one of our locations. So I will do some marketing and promotions from our side. But with that in mind, I think everybody enjoyed the live stream. Thank you so much to the community for coming through and for supporting, and for the ladies as well for accepting my invitation. With that, I will see you later. Bye.